Hey,
Awesome.
Michael, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Todd. How are you?
I'm great. I'm
Haven't seen you
recording
for a
this one.
while.
If that's okay.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Okay,
Wonderful.
cool.
Okay. Awesome. I'm going to share my screen in a second here and review the agenda. But just as an overview, we're going to talk about MVC1 change to the homepage,
Mhm.
as well as give you a little preview of MVC2 and just talk about where the plan came from and what we learned so far. Let
Great.
me just share. Okay, so we took on a pretty ambitious deadline, kicking things off. We had 4 people join our team for this quarter on a contract basis, and I'm of the opinion the best way to learn how to do stuff is do it. So we just decided to jump in, and we took on the homepage kind of specifically to challenge GitLab as an organization. I've been here for 6 months, so I wasn't entirely sure how this would roll either. But in my experience, the homepage has a lot of emotional ramifications. It's very subjective, and there's typically a belief that it's the most important part of the digital experience. And I've also experienced, as we dig into the data and continue working, we find out that it is important, but it's not the most important. So I just wanted to put some pressure to figure out where we are at in our digital maturity in that
Mhm.
sense. So we took a 2-week sprint. I can share, this is our sprint schedule.
Yep.
So sprint starts here, we kick off, we do, well, this week's a little different because of the holiday. So let's look down here. We kick off, we make our sprint plan, we decide, hey, this is what we're gonna release by this next Wednesday. We do all our work. Near the end of the week, we meet again and say, okay, how far did we get? Are we on track to deliver? If not, let's readjust, and let's always make sure we have stuff going live every other Wednesday. So that's what we're
Understood.
working towards.
Mhm.
So we're going to get into this cadence where we want to earn the organization's trust that even if you're not seeing, the Mona Lisa go live every week or every other week, we are on the way to create this beautiful work. So that was our target. And as well as redesigning the homepage, what we're really doing behind the scenes is building our marketing design system, which, we started to socialize the name Slippers, as you know. What's a little bit fancier than pajamas? Just a nice, cozy pair of slippers.
You know, I did
Um,
I did hear a lot of this part in the weekly update. Just so
awesome.
you don't feel like you have to revamp or re-go through all of it. I did consume that in the weekly update. Because I think you
Great.
talked about
Awesome.
this and you talked about sort of, yeah, we're not going to get everybody to review every change. We're going to push stuff live and then fix it if people have, stuff that they want to change. So,
Yeah, great.
yeah, I got all that. I think the unique thing about the homepage is, like you said, the emotional and the visibility it gets.
Mhm.
So anyway, yeah.
Great. So just quickly, what we've learned, there's a lot of work that needs to be done before we can even get to work on it. And that's what you're seeing in MVC1 is
Yep. The
we
house
we thought,
modularization, the housekeeping work.
yeah, exactly. Like naively, we thought, oh, we'll actually get to this over 2 weeks. And then we realized, oh, as we're building this design system, we have to clean up the foundation. So that's great. Gut feeling on the team right now is, let's say we have 10 to 15 very important pages that drive, not only our MQLs, which is changing to inquiries, but also support a lot of marketing teams' needs. Say there's 10 to 15 pages. It's looking like 2 to 3 sprints, probably 2 sprints to get something we're happy with, and then one more sprint to add that level of polish to get it where it's, industry standard.
Yep.
So I consciously chose the homepage and I chose this ambitious deadline to educate all of us to learn what is possible. Because without jumping into the work, we're just kind of sitting around theorizing and, thinking that this is possible. So I think there's a video I linked to here. It just kind of came up for me, and it was a good way to kind of visualize what we're doing here. So we all want, like, this is, you can watch the video, but this is the real money shot, is we all want this level of fidelity when we're doing creating anything, and it takes 10 minutes. even though I ask my team, can we make this 10-minute version in 10 seconds? And they say, yeah, sure. Like, this is what it's going to end up looking like. So I think this is MVC1, MVC2, and then MVC3, or probably final release candidate 3.
Yeah.
So I've got a bunch of stuff to show you, but
okay, cool.
I'll pause for a second here if you want to jump in.
No, I understand. So now I want to see stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to show you design. This is a Figma prototype, and then I'm going to show you what's coded. So this is work in progress, MVC1. What we were working towards was just color, typography, and spacing consistency. So this is not coded, and then this is the coded version of where we're currently at. So you've seen this. I want to jump ahead real quick without giving you an opportunity to talk, to show you like where our team sees this going, because I think this is what you're seeing in your mind's eye as well, is something that is way more energetic, maybe a little bit more easy to consume, more white space, using our brand colors very effectively. This is a concept that Matt Salek came up with that I think is incredibly effective, is pulling back on the use of our brand colors actually makes them sing a lot more.
Yeah.
And just being able, again, we're reusing components. Like, do we love this thing? Not really, but all in due time. So this is a design, this is in Figma. And then I have this somewhere. So this is the coded version. So this is our progress. So oh yeah, sorry, this is enterprise page.
Okay. So
yeah,
you got a homepage.
We don't have this coded yet. Yeah. So what we realized during this sprint, and this is what I love about the Agile workflow, is while we were working on this version, we were thinking, you know what, way over here, I know I'm jumping around a lot, but that's kind of how my brain works. When we started the enterprise project, we built this content wireframe, which really just went through like the behavioral science behind someone coming to the site. And we thought, you know what, all of this holds true for the homepage. We're just, on the enterprise page, we're talking to a subset. This is like a bigger funnel. So then we realized, well, we can, for this sprint, what we're going to try and release is an enterprise page and a home page. And that's proving the power of the design system, is now we're able to release twice as much as we thought.
That's cool. I love that. I love the people idea with the real words, kind of the real words. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it reminds me a little bit of the, a classic realtor kind of strategy, is like, once you have a face to a name, that trust level goes up. And these are just cooler people. So that's great to hear that that's resonating with you.
It is the thing. So design wise in my head, I wish Matt Salek were available for a minute. And I think you're involved in this. We're recording this so I can say it.
Yeah.
Love all of this. This is beautiful. So this is the enterprise page?
Yeah.
Okay, so design-wise,
such an elevation.
I have a concern that is not related to this. I love this. This is super cool. You're showing code. I love that too. This is about the demo videos where this kind of started coming up. So I think you're on that thread. There's a very technical, kind of low production value video that we use for our demo video now. And then on the other, and it's effective. The demo converts pretty well, actually. It's a pretty high value CTA for us. And it delivers what it asks. So if I want to see a demo of GitLab, that's exactly what it is. It's a demo of GitLab. There's discussion in that thread from a design perspective to do more of a vision demo. which
Cool.
if you go look at Asana was an example and Salesforce demos were an example. So I went and looked at those.
Yeah.
And I think I have a concern about taking us in a direction where we are too app end user, business user focused. I think vision demos that are illustrative as opposed to the actual product, or maybe they take the product and they do some things, but they're illustrative and yet they don't actually show the product very well. And I think our audience is currently more technical, individual contributor level, and they want to see the freaking product. So while I want higher production value, I don't want to rely too much on illustrative things that represent what the product does. When we're showing the product, we should show the product and we should make it real to people. So I know this is a little off track of this conversation, but
no, it's great.
If you go back, I love this as well. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I saw this. To me, it's like, it's almost like what you're talking about, but also making this a little bit more real, but not being didactic and prescriptive, sort of painting a world of like what is possible, but also, not just waving our hands and
to be honest, that illustration is great to pull someone in, but then the next thing they want to see is like, okay, well, show me the product.
Yeah.
And then it's like, so I want to make sure that we strike the right balance and remember that we're not Asana or Salesforce, and we don't sell to marketers and we don't sell to salespeople, and we sell to hardcore developers and development shops who understand these concepts. So I love this, what you're showing me here. And because I think it's perfect for, the headline, what we're doing. Oh, I get it. We do all these things. I think it hammers that home so well, and putting people, like you said, makes it more relatable. But I also want to make sure that we are not so vision-y theoretical that we don't make it real quickly. We're transparent. So let's be transparent about our product too. Let's show it. Anyway, I think I've preached enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm hearing things along the lines
For us, not developers, we like those things. But I think if I'm a developer, I'm like, I got your vision-y stuff. Now show me the product. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we can take that back to the lab and well, I will I will put that feedback in actually, I think I'm scheduling a meeting around that demo, and we'll talk about it there too. But that shouldn't invalidate any of this awesome work that you're showing me today, because I love this. This is super cool. That's great to hear.
Yeah, and I just wanted to show you, and share, our team, we're proud of this work. Do we think it's amazing? No, of course not. Yeah. This we think is moving in the direction of amazing. So questions I wanted to pose to you, we've got 11 minutes here, is there anything specific that you're worried about? I can stop sharing since it's just a text doc, but is there anything specific you're worried about, or from your experience, this is what I think is the most valuable of this conversation, is this isn't your first rodeo. So is there anything you're seeing that we're doing that you're like, hey, I get how that's a logical approach, and did it that way before and found out this was actually the better way to go about it?
No, I don't have any concerns right now on that. I think, so question. I'm going to GitLab right now to our website. Cool. All right, so the question is, what are you planning to do with MVC1?
Our plan, the ideal goal is that we would have put it live last Wednesday. I knew that there was a 50-50 chance that we wouldn't. I will have concern if we can't put MVC2 live, because then we twice in a row we've broken our goal of releasing every 2 weeks. I think what I'd like to do is get us to flex our muscle and understand that some weeks we'll be putting stuff that we're really thrilled on, and some weeks we'll be putting stuff to production that we're like, this is better. And we know that there's a quick follow that it's going to get there. So MVC1 to me is just like proving, getting our reps in, you know, getting that muscle trained. We're going to just let that one go. That set us up. And I would love to know from you, if that MVC1, we just feel, you know what, it's an MVC and that's great. That's something that doesn't need to go to production, and we understand the work needs to be done still. The base level of what we should push is more in the MVC2 level of work. I'm good with that too, because we can, just because we're working to a release doesn't mean we have to release it. We just want to have the code complete in a package so we can then move on.
Yeah, I'd like to move to MVC2. The only area that I'm concerned about is this one here. So I'm gonna share my screen.
Sure.
Is this piece.
Right.
So what you've designed looks quite a bit different than this. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure, like actually what I think you sort of went more towards this page. And I'd like to maybe talk about that piece and decide if we want to, you know, freeze this and just leave this as a widget, or what your thinking is about that. The reason I ask is because this piece here requires me to go have a conversation with Sid and make sure we're all on the same page. But everything else is completely up to your team. So that's my question is really, what are we doing with this?
Yeah, I think we should, and I'll obviously confirm with the team, my feeling, I know that there is a lot with that component. And I think to redo that component is a project unto itself, because it is very complicated. From a customer viewpoint, even like I have a front-end engineering background, and I look at that and I'm like, wow, this looks like homework. I'm probably not even going to consume this right now. I think for MVC2, we can just put that as it exists. And then a future project for us is, we know this component is incredibly valuable. What does an elevation of this look like? So we can approach it as its own distinct piece of work.
I think that's exactly right. And I am totally up for approaching that work and helping with that work and advocating for that work, because it needs to happen. But I think by chunking it up, you can make progress on the website, and then we can visit that section in a sprint. And we can talk about that in a sprint. Like what I would do is maybe get the homepage to MVC2, or maybe even 2.1 or 2.2, and then, or MVC3 or whatever. And then take a sprint and look at just this section and say, all right, what are we trying to accomplish? How can we make this a lot better?
Yeah, I'm aligned with that. I'm a big analogy person. So we've been talking about on our team is classic car design versus modern car design. You know, modern, they use the computer and everything, you know, looks pretty good, but we're missing that beauty and human element from the 1970s cars. So let's think of it as like, we've got this chunk of clay, and what we're doing right now is just that first and second pass to like make this rectangle look like a car form. And then let's put that forward. And then as we keep making progress, we can get in there and do the fine details.
Yep. Okay, cool.
And I also think that if every detail is ironed out on our site, I honestly think we've been focusing on the wrong things. I think there is a level that we just have to be happy so that we continue to move fast and show value. You know, it's a balance of broad value versus very specific beauty.
Yeah, agreed. And you just pick your, like, I think this is the nice thing about moving back to sort of a clean slate color palette / because you can pick your beauty battles, and you can say, all right, this section, this horizontal needs to work really well for us and has to be really well thought through. This one is a set of case studies or the video carousel, and that just needs to look good on white and not compete with anything else. Let's just slap it in there. Like, I think getting back to a less defined palette like you're doing will help us to do that. Think modularly. Cool. Great. I actually need to run. This has been good. So we're on the same page. Move to MVC2. Is that next Wednesday?
Yeah.
All
and
right.
we're gonna connect as a team today and tomorrow to really like get sharp on what that exactly looks like. And then yeah, we're gonna hit the go button and have something go to production.
Okay, cool. I'm excited for that.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Todd.
All right, thank you. I'll send you the link to this and then you can post it wherever you want to post it.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, see ya.
Talk to you later.